Welcome, YouTubers, fellow preppers, and survivalists. This is the All American Prepper coming at you from the bunker. If you got any questions, shoot them my way. If I don't answer them, post it again. I can't get to them all, but I'll do my best. Tonight, we're discussing prepping and going off grid. Now, in my kind of work, not as a bouncer, but as a contractor, there's two kinds of going off grid. There's one that you're living off grid as we live now. We're 100% self-reliant. And we run off solar. We grow our own food. We produce our own meat. I hunt and fish and forage for everything. And we don't have much people in here yet, but living off grid is a very satisfying feeling. Hello, how you doing? Living off grid is a very satisfying feeling. But to go off grid, that's two different terminologies. We live off grid, but we're still on grid as of, we're here on YouTube. We can be found. Now, they're very slick. They're making it really hard to go off grid. Now, living off grid, it takes a while to learn and to get used to living that way. But what people think are necessities are luxuries. That's something you need to understand. Now, going off grid, that means to where you cannot be found. And if you want to go off grid and not be found, you're going to have to get rid of your cell phone. And they're going to, even if you delete your Facebook, they can still pull that up. And they'll look on there and see who likes what you've been posting. And those will be the first people that they're going to be looking for you. Now, they're very clever about finding people, such as they're making it like, I know a lot of people, especially in my kind of line of work, that we have hearing damage. So a lot of us have to wear hearing aids from loud noises, pew-pews and explosions and such. But I noticed a lot of people's hearing aids run through their Wi-Fi on their telephone. Now, this is not a conspiracy theory. This is a fact. Every conversation that you have on your phone, doesn't matter if it's your 93-year-old grandmother talking to Aunt Mabel, that phone call is being recorded and going into a supercomputer by the NSA. Greetings, LC. Good to have you.
That is too invasive.
Yeah. So when you have your hearing aids that run off Wi-Fi, they hear everything. I mean, why do they want to know what every single person is doing at all times and talking about? I'm not sure why. Okay, but they do. So, for instance, I was talking to someone about Sasquatch soap earlier today, and he had his hearing aids in, and I don't have a phone. Okay, and I was nowhere near any kind of devices except for his hearing aids.
Hi from Georgia. Hi.
Hey, Georgia Peach, nice to have you.
I think it has something to do with China.
Oh, another person from Georgia. Hi, good to have you. So they're gathering all this information, but we were talking about the Sasquatch soap. I love it. Not affiliated with it, but it's really awesome.
I hated it when I was studying parasites. Got the weirdest screen displays.
Yes. So the first thing I do when I got on the computer, when I went on YouTube, the first advertisement that popped up was Sasquatch soap. So I think they got it so tweaked to where they have voice recognition to where they identified, and I know it's got to be AI. Human mind cannot keep up with that. And it's all ran through a system. We're virtually a product. And you know, to have a hearing aids that run through Wi-Fi, so you have to carry your phone with you. Even if you have your location turned off, I hope you're smart enough to know that just because you got it turned off, it's still on. You know, they're, hey, thank you for being here, LG.
Because they are listening somewhere.
Yeah, they're always, so living off grid, we love it. I love it because it's very independent. Because I believe that here in 30 days, it's going to get real. We only have 25 days worth of diesel left. And I don't know if you've heard that Biden just sold like 1 million barrels out of our strategic oil to China. That's wow. So, but to go completely off grid to where you don't want to be found, you have to ditch every electronic device. And you literally have to go where there's no street cameras, no cameras of any kind. Even if someone else's phone catches you on their camera. Now, when I'm not using my computer, I tape the camera lens up. And there's a reason why I do that. It's a very simple hack. In the middle of Georgia, I got a lot of family there. It's a very simple hack that you can get for like $39, and you can turn someone's camera on. So if there's anything that you don't want heard, you better be away from all electronic devices and make sure someone doesn't have hearing aids that are going through Wi-Fi. And I'm very suspicious of even having my dog chipped. They put a chip in them where if they get lost, they can find them. if someone finds them, they scan them just like they do groceries, and they know whose dog it is. I don't know if they can track that or not, but they probably can.
Then they do have things that you can track your dog, especially if your dog is a runner, especially like Huskies. They are escape artists. So, yeah, they do have things. I don't know if the thing that he's talking about actually does have the GPS as well, but I do know there is GPS stuff for your dog that you have to purchase yourself.
But I personally, it's a theory. I'm running out of conspiracy theories because they're all coming true. But that's another theory of mine. If your animal is chipped, they'll be able to find you. They just why do they want to know every single thing of what we do? Okay. But that's another reason, here after midterm elections, it is going to get bad. This inflation, the food short, they're trying to make everything look good right now. But after the election, they're not going to care. So then that's when I believe we're going to start seeing the big time food shortages. I'm already seeing it. I'm seeing a lot of things that I could get because I keep my eyes open. I really don't buy anything anymore, but I recommend if you need it, you need to get it now. Okay. Medical. You need a good medical kit. This is a good company right here. And it really, I'm a medic, a field medic, not a doctor. I even had her trained. We're both certified to teach someone to be a medic. But this here one is a great one from this company right here. I was so impressed with their EDC belt that I went ahead and got their medic. And I checked it out. And it's good. I'm going to do a whole separate video about this. But if you're wanting to go off grid, if you want to live off grid, you're going to have to go solar if you want power. Now, everybody, especially most of these prepper channels, they're obsessed with power as if you can't live without it. Well, she can tell you, yeah, you can live without electricity.
Yeah, it's just a comfort thing to have electricity.
Now, for some people, it may be a necessity.
Especially if you have medical issues.
Yes, but if you're a healthy individual, you do not have to have electricity. It's a luxury. Flushing toilet is a luxury.
Okay.
You read the comments.
Okay. I do Walmart delivery. I'm in Walmart every day. I see gaps in shelves being moved around and prices going up. But we are doing pretty well in the star in this state thanks to DeSantis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm discussing two types of off grids. Okay, living off grid, but they can still find me because of this computer. Okay. So if you're like wanting just not to be found, you're going to have to ditch any electronic device whatsoever. And you're going to have to stay. It's almost impossible for most people to stay away from cameras. People with their cell phones and all, who's to say that they don't have your camera on all the time, recording everything? I know there's an app at cheaters.com that you can buy and put a phone number on there and turn someone's camera on, turn their speaker on. And if you can buy that for around $40, so going off grid to where you don't want to be found, you're literally going to have to go in a wooded area and hope that there isn't those hunter cameras up that run off Wi-Fi, or they'll get you. Now, that's one good thing about this whole mask deal, is now it's not unusual to see someone with a complete mask on. But these computers are so well, if they catch you at a right angle, they can tell who you are just by the way you walk. They got it that good. But living off grid is very freeing. And you need to learn to be able to live off grid, because, some people like wearing that mask just to hide their identity, And me, I got these tattoos, so I'd have to sleeve up also. But I feel, we only have 25 days worth of diesel left in this country. Now, we got our president begging other countries to produce more oil while he's doing everything he can to keep from our own country producing oil. I think the enemy is within. And I think in 30 days, a lot of people are going to be in for a rude awakening. But to live off grid, it's very fulfilling. They can turn the power off. I don't care. I have my own power. And we've lived without power. We have books. Get you a good library. And I don't read stuff for entertainment. All my books are about survival, wild edibles, trapping. I'm always studying and learning. I'm always a student. Always. I'm always trying to learn as much as I can. But to go off grid and not be found, you really, there's an art to that. So it's something you might want to practice now as a game, Are you mentally strong enough to leave your home without your phone?
Okay. How far away are you from the nearest known security camera?
Well, I have security cameras, but mine are all closed circuit.
So
we're a long ways away from any cameras, except for me. This whole area is wired, but it's a closed circuit. Now, someone could go to one of the lines and splice into it and see, on maybe one of my neighbor's cameras or something. But it would be very hard for them to do, because we all have dogs and we're all very like-minded. Any car, any vehicle that comes down our road, we run the tag number. Okay, is there another question?
I hope to live off grid one day. I'm just now starting to learn about it, and so far from it. I don't know where to start, and being single makes it more challenging.
The first thing to do if you want electricity is to learn solar. Start studying up on solar. But I fear that we're running out of time. Very soon, we are running out of time. I know it. I'm not going to be like these other prepper channels say, oh, I got a source and this and that. But in the kind of work that I used to do, those guys talk. And we're running out of time.
Glad to see you still made it, though, Ashton. And then they still have stuff in the sky that can see what you are all doing.
Yes, they do. They do. But there's also ways to avoid that if you go into a good wooded area. That's why when I was in Iraq, Saddam Hussein, when he lit up all the oil fields, most civilians thought he did that just to be malicious. He did that to put all that smoke in the sky so he could withdraw his remaining troops without them getting slaughtered, because we slaughtered them over there. I'm just going to say it. I mean, we totally dominated that fight. They didn't have a chance. And to get his high up ranking guys out, that's why he lit all them oil fields on fire. Because then the satellites couldn't see through that.
Okay. I would love it if you showed how to set up your solar panels to run your house, or if you could explain it. Thank you.
Okay, what I do, I set my solar panels to where I can move them. That way I can tilt them towards the sun. That way they're not stationary. But I also put plexiglass over it. And then I put this stuff they put on windows to keep from your glass shattering when it gets hit. Because sometimes, it's rare, but sometimes we do get hailstorms. And, if that hail gets big enough, it will bust your solar up. That's why I put the plexiglass over that. But we just started small, and we learned how to use it and grew it, and bigger and bigger and bigger. It's a learning process.
Oh, yeah.
Now we have enough to where we can run the air conditioner. We virtually have extra energy. And I keep it cold in here because, I've been in so much heat. I've been in 140 degree weather wearing body armor to where I just get angry when I get hot, because it reminds me of hard. She'll tell you when I get hot, I'm not a nice guy. And it's not, it's just because it kind of takes me somewhere that I don't want to go. And so, air conditioning is a luxury, though. When I was a kid, growing up, yeah, I'm that old, we didn't have it. You could buy it, but my parents grew up without it, and they just didn't see a need for it. And they were just cheap. And then eventually they did get an air conditioner for their bedroom. But, so many things are luxuries that people think is a necessity.
The plexiglass I've seen is very expensive. Where is the best place to buy it?
Well, I really don't know, because I scavenge most of my stuff. And I scavenged that plexiglass that was getting thrown out from and it's very thick. So I really don't know where the best place to get it. I try to scavenge everything that I can. I'd rather scavenge it than have to pay for it. Because I got my mother is not doing well, and nobody escapes death. And I'm going to have her buried properly, and that's going to cost a lot of money. So, I'm having to, make money any way I can legally. Now, she won't let me go back to contracting work. She'll let me bounce at a strip club, and I get shot at, but no contracting work. But there's a reason why. Yeah, plexiglass, and you can, they got it thick. The stuff I got is thick. Every time I'm out running, I take a different route. And I do that for a couple reasons. I don't want no one to be able to pattern me. And also, I'm looking. And I live in such a rural area. People literally come out this way to dump whole truckloads of trash. It's everywhere. But I go through that trash, and I find a lot of good stuff. That's how I found that plexiglass, really. It was left over from me. I could tell that it was from a construction site because there was fresh cut boards. And when you scavenge like I do, you can even tell where it comes from. And I find a copper in there. One time I was scavenging through trash, and I literally found some golden necklaces that someone literally threw away. I guess they didn't know it was real gold. I'm amazed at the things that people throw away.
Oh, yeah.
I really am. It is true. One man's trash is another man's treasure.
Oh, yeah.
But I repurpose everything. Like I said, we throw nothing away. No food, waste not, want not. But yeah, I scavenge my plexiglass. I scavenge most of everything that I can. Mm-hmm. Some things I did have to purchase the panels, and they are costly. Now, I hear that, I'm trying to think of that place. What's that cheap place? It's like a Home Depot, but it's, when I think of the name of it, I'll tell you. They sell solar panels there that are the least expensive that I've seen.
Harbor Freight?
Harbor Freight, yeah. Harbor Freight has some pretty good deals on solar panels. Now, I don't know how good they are, because when I do buy something, I always buy the best. That way, I don't go cheap. I always get the best. It seems to last longer. She'll tell you, I buy the best of, when I want something, I get the best of it that I can get.
Oh, yeah, he does.
Because I want it to last me a lifetime. I have knives that I've had for 30, 40, 30 years. And they're still great. Now, my dad, a knife only lasts him a year because he sharpens it all the time. Some sort of OCD. I just keep mine sharp, and I don't cut stuff with it. Now, my kitchen knives, matter of fact, my kitchen knife somebody was throwing out.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, well, damn, there's a nice set of knives right there.
Yeah.
They were actually knives for a grill. But I just sharpened them and used them to cut with. Yeah, good investments. That's what you want to do. Yeah, cheaper isn't always better.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. Now, and also expensive isn't always better either now. So,
You almost have to judge your quality of your stuff.
and that's a wonderful thing about the internet is look and see the reviews on the product.
Oh yeah.
That's what I do is before I buy anything before I did solar and all, I did my research. I always research thoroughly before I purchase something. Like again, I hate to go to Walmart, but she'll see me when I do go to Walmart to get something. I will literally walk around with it in my hand
Oh yeah.
the whole time I'm there. And 75% of the time I end up putting it back.
Yep.
Because in my mind is, can I live without it? Do I need it?
And then also, even when we're at the checkout line, as we're waiting, he'd be like, "What do you think about this? Do you think we really need it? Do you think it?" And I normally like, "Yeah, sure."
Now, like I had to buy some pellets at Walmart for my pellet rifle. It's sad when you got to stock up on pellets. Because I believe the shortages will be here soon. Matter of fact, I know they will be. But I'm not going to be like a other prepper channel that makes fun of me. That he's just a master salesman. But yeah, if y'all seen those, I'm sure you get a good laugh. That is me he's making fun of.
Do I have something at home that does the same thing?
Exactly. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I do have the mentality 1 is none and 2 is 1.
And 3 is even better.
Yeah. So I like to have plenty of necessity. But if it's not necessity, I don't get it. I live simple.
Hey, if anybody that has not hit the like button, hit that like button so that we can get this out there even more.
Yeah, like, subscribe. We'd appreciate that. And man, do I appreciate y'all's donations from last night. That's helping out a lot.
Oh yeah.
Because it's looking like I'm going to need that. Anyway, trying to stay off that subject too much because I don't want to get all depressed. But so living off grid is very freeing, and soon you may not have a choice. So if you're already set up to have your own grid, when this energy shortage hits hard, you're already good.
Yeah.
But you're running out of time. You're running out of time. So I don't do Facebook. I don't do any. This is the only thing I do.
Social media.
This is the only social media I do is YouTube. And I mainly do it to get people through what's coming. I've been in other countries and I've seen this happen. And it's already bad. But they're trying to prop everything up and make it look as good as they can for the midterm election. But after that, they're not going to care. And then we're going to feel it. For those who voted the wrong way, well, you see what we got. You see the cost of everything. You see the direction that we're headed in. So I try not to go political on this here. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah, we try not to be one of those channels either.
Yeah, I just
We're about prepping.
We're about prepping
and getting prepared.
But if you ever truly need to go off grid, you better hope your pet ain't chipped, and you better ditch any electronic stuff. And you virtually going to have to go out in the middle of the woods. And you know they have game cameras that people can look on their phone.
Oh yeah.
And if your face gets caught on one of them game cameras, they found you.
Yep.
LC in Florida, I guess you can read my mind, brother.
Yep, not gonna say nothing, but
Roger that.
Yep.
Look at the mess these lunatics have gotten us in. And only God knows how many sleeper cells have made it across the border.
Okay. One thing I would like to put in is when you're prepping, I think a lot of people don't think of medical stuff. And that is my go-to. I love prepping medical stuff. Even the basics, Neosporin and Band-Aids. I mean, I like those. I like the new different kinds of Band-Aids. And then rubbing alcohol, peroxide. I actually got, when I visited his mom in the hospital, I got some of that tape. So I was like, score on that.
Yeah, she's learning to be a scavenger.
And some scissors, on that good, nice scissors for cutting that tape or whatever. Yeah, super glue. I love it.
Yeah, that works great.
I like that. And butterfly Band-Aids. I've used so many butterfly Band-Aids on him. And then that new skin. I put a little bit of new skin, butterfly to keep them closed. And that is my go-to for him for sure.
I'm always getting cut.
And
job hazard.
And then also you could go, if you don't have certain things, then super glue and duct tape.
Gorilla tape. It's duct tape on steroids.
But since you do have we have the opportunity right now to prep, don't forget your medical to prep that as well. Yes, prep food, water, ammo, all that stuff as well, but don't forget your medical stuff. And then also for ladies, with our monthlies, you can prep on those as well. And then, or if you want to go old school and use like ripped up sheets, and when you do run out of that stuff, or things to think on that part as well, especially for the ladies, or even if you are prepping and you have young children, young girls that are still young right now, but they're going to get older and then they're going to start. So you got to think on that stuff as well.
And if you have children, they're going to grow.
Oh yeah, so prepping on their clothes to grow, let them grow, and shoes.
Footwear.
And also, again, for younger girls, they're going to need bras when they get older, and they're on the smaller side as they grow, so they need smaller all the way up to however they grow.
All right, you just lost half the men there.
Sorry. Sorry, guys.
We have a lot of ladies in here. So.
Yeah, you got to think of the ladies,
and, you know, us guys, we got women and we got children, so it is what it is. I told you we lost some on that. But medical is very important. Antibiotics, you know, in the grid down, what's a simple cut that you can go to hospital and get taken care of? Well, what I call a simple cut, most people go, oh my God.
Yeah, simple cut, you can wash under some water or whatever and clean it up.
Me, I call simple cut. Well, I can see the bone, but it didn't hit a vein or a ligament, so I'm good. And she just sews me up or butterflies me up. Would you prep on? Yes. Fish antibiotics? Hell yeah. Any antibiotics you can get is going to be worth their weight in gold. If someone comes to you and they're sick and dying, they can have all the food prep, all the prep, but if they don't have antibiotics, that's literally worth its weight in gold.
Oh, and also I just thought of something as well. Prep on if you have something going wrong with your teeth. They have this stuff that you can do a filling with.
Yes, I would definitely. Now is the time to go get your teeth taken care of. Most of mine have been knocked out. But getting your teeth taken care of, because a simple tooth infection can be a death sentence if you can't get antibiotics.
Yes, right now you want to keep on regular dental visits, cleanings, and LG. Yes, sports bras. I've actually went to majority of mine.
She learned the hard way.
Yeah, because you never know if you're going to be out and about, and like he always says, an EMP goes off, and I got to get home. If I need to do a little bit of jogging, I need a good sports bra, so I'm not hurting.
Well, I caught her one day, and I could tell she wasn't dressed properly. What I call properly, I don't say inappropriate. I mean, I could tell. I said, run. And she ran. She said, oh. I said, yeah, you got on the wrong stuff. So you always need to be prepared. You never know when an EMP or solar flare is going to happen. More likely EMP the way this thing is going.
Okay. LC said, right, that's what I was thinking. And then another one, talked with a guy who works for me on the weekends at my farm. I'm sure he thinks I'm a crazy old lady. I told him about a few things, asked some questions. He said, I guess I just don't want to know. Some people are like that.
You're going to be surprised, and it's sad to say, how many people are going to do themselves in because they're just not going to want to live in the world. I got too many people I'm responsible for to take myself out.
Yeah, Elsie, at least she tried. But I would get the sports bras with the padding. That way you can take them out or fill in to get the right fit. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you guys and gals, we're running out of time. You need to get it now, as soon as possible.
Okay. What should you look for when buying land? For one thing, I know
water.
Yeah, and also we just had a major hurricane down here, and then I told him, I was like, this is the times people, if they're wanting to buy land, where it's flooding at or not.
Yeah, after the hurricane, you see where the low-lying areas is and where it didn't get flooded.
So, I mean, if you're able to look up the land stuff to see if it's a flood zone or not, that's a good spot way.
Yeah, not too low.
Yeah, not too low.
But it would be nice to have some running water through there. But again, that could be too low of a land, because anywhere there's running water here, after the hurricane, there was no land. It was just water. We were on the motorcycle, and I was riding down the road I normally ride down really fast because it's real fun and hilly. And I come over a hill, and I literally had to lock up the brakes because where the road was, there was a river.
Yep. Maybe the unused bra padding can be used as a knee pad cushion. That's a good idea. Cross-reference was growing there and see if you can make it work. Growing or wild edibles.
Yeah. Now, me personally, if I was purchasing land, I would find a land as far away from a populated area with as much wooded area around it.
Oh, that's a good question. Does anybody know how to treat respiratory failure in a grid down scenario and can't make it to the hospital?
Well, it's all according to what kind it is. You know, there's CPR. There's all kind of natural herbs. It's all according to what type of respiratory failure it is. But maybe someone can answer that in the question. Now, I know how if someone has a collapsed lung and they can't breathe, I know how to get in there and let that air out so they can breathe. That's why you are your first responder. You need to learn as much medical as you can. You know, you could get in an accident, someone can have a collapsed lung. If there's no hospital, that's a death sentence if you don't know how to deal with it.
Yep, bra padding can be medical if unused.
Yeah. Get your medical supplies and get medical books and read and learn. You know, now is the time for learning. But I'm a big advocate of having your own library, because if the grid goes down or if they just decide to turn the internet off for whatever reason, because it seems like their overreach, their arm is getting longer and longer, and they're wanting more and more control of everything. You've seen they took the dislike number down on here.
And then, crap, I forgot what I was going to say.
Yeah, every true prepper needs to know. You're right, LC in Florida. CPR, including the hemlock on yourself. Yes.
Heimlich.
Yeah, I have pronunciation problems. This is, I mean,
Not a company.
This is the bare.
It's not.
Okay, well, this is the bare necessity. This is the least that I carry. But we have medical. I have antibiotics.
And then also prep on, when you're doing your library, a couple different medical books that will show you how to do different things that you don't know.
And YouTube it.
Well, right now YouTube it, but when you don't have internet, then
but YouTube it now so you know how to do it. But just remember, you can't remember everything. That's why it's good to have books.
Yes. And then my rabbits, I try to grow everything that we need for them. But they love banana leaves like crazy.
Sweet potato leaves.
Yep. And
little bit of carrot, little bit of apple.
A good thing to do is also I make sure different things that they can have by Googling it. Sorry, the dogs are barking at something. And so, yeah, I Google if I'm unsure if they can have this or that. I Google it and before I feed it to them.
Yeah, LC, those old school books, you know, they tell you how to do it without all this modern stuff that we take for granted. Because this stuff may not be around much longer. You know, I'm telling you, we're fixing to have a very serious crisis in the next 30 days. Just let them bark. There's nobody out there. They're barking at the cats. That's a good thing about having dogs. And make sure you got plenty of dog food. If you got animals, you better stock up on that food for your animals. That's really, I went to Walmart to get pellets and soap because I'm obsessed with soap. And so I went ahead and got a lot of dog food
Oh, and then
and
also,
pellets.
talking about medical earlier, if you have animals as well, medical stuff for your animals. Like my rabbits sometimes get ear mites, so I need mineral oil. So I got a big thing of mineral oil so I can put in their ears to treat that.
Look out there. See if I'm missing something on the camera. Dogs are, don't open the door. Look through the spy hole. The dogs are obviously seeing something that I'm not seeing on the camera. It's probably a damn cat.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I'm always aware of what the hell's going on around here.
Yeah, it's just cats.
It's cats. We got so many feral cats out here.
It's annoying.
Yeah. And they literally aggravate the dogs. I'm going to turn the dogs loose on them one day. I hate to be hard like that, but damn. So, yeah, you need to prep up now. Yeah, these cats kill everything, but they kill the squirrels, and that makes me so damn mad because
yes, they do.
I eat the squirrels.
And those are the rodents, limb rats we do want.
Yeah, we call them limb rats, but I eat squirrel. I love them in a crock pot, but these damn cats are killing all the squirrels around here.
Arthur said, Garfield wants revenge.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you, LG. Thank you. Yeah, we got dogs, like I have to have a dog. I have PTSD and I just have to have one.
Hello.
Is it Cajun girl?
Uh-huh.
Oh, hey, how you doing? Good to have you. But so, living off grid, it soon you're not going to have no choice.
Thank you, LG, also being so nice and welcoming everybody. That's so sweet.
Yeah, I believe soon we're going to have, people's not going to have no choice because we are having an energy crisis. And it's fixing to get real. It's already getting real. You can see the price of everything and all. But if you want electricity, you have to go solar. You have to. I mean, for instance, say the grid's completely down. Well, we have solar and we have a DVD player and we got DVDs. So we can literally, while everybody's like, oh shit, I'm losing my mind. I got no television, no nothing. I can watch a movie. I got the good, the bad, and the ugly. With Clint Eastwood, okay? I got, she's got her Harry Potter. But
Cajun girl, I'm glad you made it as well. It's going to be
all about the energy. Yeah.
Amen to being in Florida this time of year.
Yeah. There's a lot of people going to freeze to death in Europe.
Or even up north.
Well, right? I'm not sure if we're going to run out.
No, I mean even Canada and all.
And I'm not sure if we're going to run out. We're going to run low, but I know Europe, a lot of people are going to freeze to death over there. They just can't get it. Yep.
Back to Springbok, can't talk. Bring box refrigerators.
Yeah. Well, we don't even use refrigeration. So we live without it.
Europe is going to be a very sad situation.
Yeah, it's going to be really bad.
Hi, thank you everybody. Just doing a quick break here. For everybody joining on the chat, if you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much. If you haven't, subscribe. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, it's going to be bad in Europe this year. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you I got inside information and all that, but trust me, it's about to get real. And I know everybody's starting to feel it, and I got so much going on, with my mom and all. I'm trying just to, and it's insane how much it is just for someone's final expenses. What it's going to cost? It's crazy, because my mom, she does not want to be cremated. Me, I want to be cremated just so it don't cost no money. Not much. Hell, it even costs to get cremated.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just plant me out there in the yard and plant a good pot plant on top of me or something.
Stop.
That way, at least people can sit around and laugh for no reason.
It's a very uneasy feeling. I am at the Florida Campbell KY area.
Okay, I know where that is.
Oh, okay, because I have no idea.
Yeah, it's about to get real, people. You need to get it together. Stockpile food, non-perishable food, stuff that doesn't go in a refrigerator or a freezer.
Yes, because we finally got somebody in particular to start stockpiling food, prepping food, and so he got a big old stand freezer, and filled that up. I mean, he did get some
that's yeah, having them military installations within 100 miles of you.
Yes, Ashton, a lot of veggies, and also that's when you can grow stuff.
Yeah,
you grow your veggies. But I mean, it's great to even have a couple canned vegetables back in case you're having a not a good season on your growing your vegetables, or unless you're not getting this or that in your vegetable stuff. But stockpile some canned vegetables and also extra seeds so you can grow.
Yeah, stockpile your seeds. If nothing else, you can sprout the seeds and eat the seed sprouts. And a lot of that canned stuff just lacks nutrition. The canned vegetables. I'm spoiled on fresh vegetables.
Yeah, because also if you, in nutrition wise of your vegetables, it's always fresh, frozen, and then canned.
Yeah, the military movement, I'm seeing a lot of it. The world is staging for World War III. It's going to happen. There's no stopping it. You really need to prepare yourself physically, mentally, spiritually, and do what you got to do.
And that's awesome that you pressure can your food and seed saving. That's awesome.
Yeah, seed saving. That's my adopted daughter is the one that got me into seed saving and sent me some seeds, and then we got some seeds that are for sprouting.
Oh yes.
You sprout them in a mason jar with a special lid, and you eat the sprouts. And it's still like broccoli and all. You can still grow those seeds also.
Yes, and saving your seeds from your harvest.
And when you save seeds from your harvest, those seeds will grow better in that area. Somebody saying the same thing?
Yeah, and be better adapted to your environment as well.
Yeah, right. I was just fixing to say that. You're right, Brian. I hope I'm saying that right.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right. Your seeds will adapt. When you grow a plant and you keep the seeds from it, they've adapted to that environment. So they'll do better every round.
Mm-hmm.
Every round. So, you need to be prepared to live off grid, because I feel soon you're going to have no choice about it. Now, I don't play board games and I don't play cards, but if you're into that, get you a good set of cards and board games and all.
Yeah, and there's so many games you can play on just a pack of cards.
I don't do none of that.
My thing is solitaire.
Because I don't do none of that. I read and I exercise and I meditate. I'm so busy around here, I don't have time to play games.
Our garden sucked this year, but what we got, we can't.
Yeah. Well, it's a learning thing, and
or if you just didn't have a good year that it was too dry, too wet.
The weather's going crazy. The world is going crazy. People are going crazy.
Yes.
You need to get ready. And I appreciate y'all's donations from last night. That's going to help out a lot, okay?
Oh, yeah.
And I appreciate y'all being here. We're up to a little over an hour. I like to keep it at an hour. So we appreciate y'all, and we love the questions.
And we love the even just everybody talking back with each other. Even we love all this communication with all of us.
Yeah, it's dry where it's usually wet, and it's wet where it's usually dry. The cycle of the world is changing. You have to adapt. That's why I grow a lot of extra. That way, if I do have some crop failure.
Thank you, Elsie.
Thank you. That way, I always expect some crop failure. But we appreciate y'all, and be prepared to live off grid.
Yeah, start preparing now. Start doing a little things. And also there's one other thing that we didn't mention about is wind power as well. We've seen on our motorcycle rides one time, we actually seen somebody that had wind power.
You're right, LG. You're right. Yeah. I seen someone have their own wind power.
Well, it's totally awesome. And wherever you live, do into your environment on power. If you're in a windy area, do wind power. Or if you're in a very sunny area, do solar.
But prepare to live with no grid, because it's looking like you're not going to have a choice. And if you do have solar and you want some normalcy, just get you a small DVD player and a DVD collection, and you can charge that up and watch DVDs just to have a little bit of normalcy. And we're going to wrap it up. We appreciate you all for being here.
Yes, and everybody that like, share, of course you're commenting. Subscribe, and we appreciate everybody that was in the chat, everybody that's watched.
So stay strapped, stay dangerous, stay ready,
and have a blessed day.